It's finally time for us to do one of our annual episodes of the OVA.
uh, our once every 3 month podcast. We're talking about the insane things that are happening in the anime that we're watching. We might get into manga a little bit, and yeah, this actually should be a good one.
Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about. A lot of good animes out there, and then just kind of catch up with the ones that we're watching and are keeping up with. So yeah, this should be a good episode.
Y'all know what to do. We're just gonna speed through this. Profit. We're not gonna do the normal thing. Y'all like the
Oh,
videos, subscribe, do all that stuff. Listen to us on Blue Sky or follow us on Blue Sky. Listen to us on Podbean and Spotify. Y'all know the drill. Y'all go do that stuff. Thank you for doing it. We got anime to talk about.
oh yeah, we got a whole lot of anime to talk about, man. So all right, I'm gonna throw it to you. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I feel like we have to talk about one of the ones that we both have been watching
Yeah.
that we talked about earlier that was kind of pissing us off a little bit because of where they ended.
Oh yeah,
We got to talk a little bit about Solo Leveling.
bro. It is literally the hypest show every week, and it pisses me off every week.
Bro, those they be doing the nastiest cliffhangers every week.
Every fucking time, man. Like how? Like oh yeah. Just in case you guys didn't know, on these OVAs, spoilers aplenty. So I'm warning you now
Oh yeah,
because
that's
I'm
right.
about to go in. I'm about to go in.
It's been so long since we've done this. I forgot that we have to do the spoiler warning.
Yeah. Spoiler warning. All the ones we're gonna talk about today, full of fucking spoilers. So you've
Yep.
been warned.
You'll see them on the screen right now. These ones that they're looking at on the screen right now are the anime slash manga, if we get into it, that we're going to be spoiling today. If you don't want to hear any of that, bow out or go. If you're on YouTube, go to the spot that you want to listen to because they'll all be time stamped. Thank you, Prophet, for that, by the way. You can go there. But if you don't want to be spoiled on other stuff, just be prepared.
Yep. So now on to solo leveling. Spoilers. Man, ending right at when they get summoned to the fucking orc guy at the end. And you know, okay, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Sung Jin Woo is about to fuck everybody in that room up. But how we got here, like this whole season, is just goddamn incredible. Like he, first he goes to that gate that turns into the red gate, which is pretty much like a what A rank. I think they said it was an A rank or an S rank gate.
Yeah, I think it was like a B. It was like the initial gate was a C, but
Yeah,
because it turned into a red gate, I guess it bumps up. They said I think Sun Jimu said it was like a higher B, lower A is what he was saying.
yeah. But we get to see Sung Jin Woo like flex in this gate, man. Like the first thing he does, because they separate the E ranks and all the lower ranks, and the A ranks went their other way. Feel bad for all the A ranks because they got fucked because of that.
Oh yeah,
Them L's fucked them up.
like they didn't stand a chance. Like
They had no chance.
the parallels between the two groups because like Prophet said, the A rank, I think his name was Hunter Kim.
Yeah,
He was like, oh yeah, we're gonna split into groups, and then he pushed off one lower, like, you're not in this group. All of us higher rankers are gonna go this way. They all died instantly. Meanwhile, you go to the other side, Sung Jin Woo's camp. They all got like coats. They're all eating food. They're all kind of like at camp, kind of laughing. Sung Jin Woo goes off to do his thing, and the rest of his group are they're just having a good time in the red gate, just chilling.
yeah, man. And so he goes and he gets like he kills. So there's an army of bears. Okay, like no other way to say it. They're these like fucking fantasy badass bears. He summons his shadow army, And it's like, yeah, it'll be good practice for my shadow army. The whole shadow army is fucking up these bears. The bears are, giving some of those guys some work, but because Sung Jin-woo has so much mana and they just keep, regenerating and coming back, they literally just wipe out the bear army. The big boss comes and his big one, his Sung Jin-woo's main one, I think it's Igris.
Mm-hmm.
The first shadow guy that he got with the big ass sword, the knight.
Yeah, the night that he fought at the end of season one. If for people who don't remember.
Yeah, at the end of season one, the first actual shadow that he got, and we find out he got the shadow because he was originally part of the original Shadow Monarch's army. So he wanted to see if Jinwoo had it, right? And once he figured it out, he was like, okay, he's worthy to serve. So he just, he said yes. And later on, we'll talk about like what happens when, after he beats the frost elf boss, because something completely opposite happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like, so he sends Igris out. Igris completely destroys the boss, fucking the giant ice bear boss. Jinwoo gets every single one of that bear army. So now he has an even bigger shadow army. It is just crazy, man. Like, that shit is so dope. I don't care what anybody says. That shit is cool as hell.
It's such a the way they're doing it is such a hypey show, and I've heard I don't know how true this is because I haven't read the manhwa. Like they're cutting some things here and there, like little dialogue things, and they're kind of making season two like a real hype beast show, which I think for those who haven't read the manhwa, I feel like it works for us because it's just action non-stop. Like if you're just a hype fiend that just likes people seeing people get fucked up, fights and stuff like that, Soul 11 season 2 is for you.
Shit, season one is for you too.
Yeah, season 1. They had like little breaks here and there, to get us to know characters. This time it hasn't really stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh man. But yeah, later on, I think it was like the next episode after that, Hunter Kim finds Jinwoo's, people at the camp. And not just him that finds everybody at the camp. The ice elves pop up at the camp too. And they're like, yo, where's your fucking leader?
Do they
They
follow
don't
them?
Yeah, they follow them. They are well, they know the pretty much the ice elves knew where the fuck they were. But they decided to fuck with Hunter Kim first.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy that army. And man, the Drip King, Sung Jin Woo, pops up. He's talking shit to the ice elf. He ain't even scared. My boy is not scared at all.
We need to mention also that because of the system, most likely he's able to speak to the elf. Because when we go back to like his crew, they don't understand what's happening. Like Sun Jin was just speaking in the elf language, and they're like, you can speak this?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so." And he turns around and starts talking to the guy again.
Yeah, and so there's an interesting part where the elf guy is like, "Hey, you don't know what the fuck you are? You're not human like the rest of these guys. Why don't you join us? We'll just kill. We'll either just leave him there or we'll just kill all the rest of them." And he's like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And he tried to get him to explain, and the system rewinded what that guy was about to say, and he was hostile again.
Bro, oh my
And
god.
I was like, "Oh shit! Oh, what? Okay,
And for those who don't know, that's not the only glitch we're gonna see in the episodes that we're talking about.
yeah." And then after that, the elf is like, "Okay, well, we're gonna fight." And Sung Jin Woo was like, "Hey, everybody, step back for a bit. Step back for a minute. Let me do my thing." He summons like everything. He's got all the bears. He's got all the knights. He's got the mages. He's got it's like two whole armies fighting each other, and then him and the Ice Elf guy are fighting each other, and then Hunter Kim's punk ass decides he's so pissed off that he wants to attack Jin Woo. Big mistake. Igris was watching him the whole time. And Hunter Kim tried to stab Jim Woo, and well, Hunter Kim ain't for this world no more. Igris fucked him up and just killed him. But the best part about this is the one thing I didn't know, like about Jinwoo's powers, I thought it was just like stuff inside the instance he can, you know, um, make into, his army, his shadow army. But he could do it to people too. So guess what? Hunter Kim is one of his new shadow guys named Greed. Damn.
You know, the shady thing is they didn't name him Greed on the anime. Like the anime, he says the word greed, right? Like that's what he
Yeah.
says, but the subtitle doesn't say that, which is lame. It's whatever.
Yeah, because he's supposed to, his name is supposed to be Greed.
Hmm.
But they call it in the subtitle, they called him like Tank or something like that.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Yeah. And Greed's strong as fuck, man.
Now he has his own Vanguard tank now, right?
Yeah.
So he has Igris as an attacker who can literally destroy people with with nothing, right? And even Sun Jimu, because he saw Igris fight, he was like, oh yeah, that's right. If he would have fought with the sword, I would have been dead. Because if you remember, Igris dropped the sword to fight him straight up, which wasn't a good idea for him.
Well, it was because you find out later on it's because Igris wanted to test him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, hey, and once he figured it out, he pretty much let Jinwoo kill him. And he was like, yeah, I'll follow this guy. Which is why he was able to um summon him as part of his shadow army.
Mm-hmm.
And but like in this fight, like him and that battle between him and that ice elf was dope as hell, man.
It was so good. Also, episode 2 of the season, by the way.
Yeah, literally episode 2. So your adrenaline's already pumping in the first 2 goddamn episodes, man. I was like, my eyes were wide open. I couldn't stop watching this shit, man. But you know what? You fighting Sung Jin Woo. Sorry, guy. The Drip King will always win. And eventually he kills the ice elf. And then like he tells everybody to get out of the instance because he starts trying to make him do he does the obey command, which is when he makes somebody one of his shadow minions. The issue this time was he wasn't high enough level, and his spirit, the spirit of the ice elf, was like, "Nah, fuck you. I ain't joining you." Pretty much because you're not high enough level, and I don't respect you because you're not strong enough.
Yep.
And that was the first time he got denied, which carries over into like later parts of the season where that's why he's so driven to level up because he's pissed off he didn't get the ice elf.
He was so mad coming out of the one part that we didn't talk about for this he brought along one of his sister's friends because she wants to be a hunter, and he's like, no, you should not do this. So he brought her into this to try to scare her away from being a hunter, which didn't work because he looks like a badass now.
Yeah.
So he's kicking all this ass, and she's like, oh my god, I want to be a hunter even more. I'll see you tomorrow after leave the gate. And he's doing this while he's pissed off because he couldn't get the ice elf, right? The head ice elf. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, man. And then so we outside of the gate there was shit going on too. Like I forget the guy's name, but he's like the beast one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but yeah, he's the one that could turn the beast. And then the one guy's brother he killed in the last season. What was his name? Dongwon Su or something like that.
I think so.
But the other guy, he was waiting outside the gate because he wanted a piece. He was trying to get fight Jin Woo, and so that one hunter guy that was there, Don Wan Su was there. They were him and that guy were about to fight, and somebody stepped in the middle and was like, "Thank God you guys held back because I would have died here," because they were about to punch each other. Um, and man, like Alonso, he left because America called him for something we're going to talk about a couple episodes from, couple episodes from this one. And when Jin Woo came out, that one hunter, the guy, that lead hunter guy was like, "Hey, where's my A ranks and stuff like that?" He's like, "Yo, you just saved your whole crew, and I'm fucking tired. Okay."
You should thank me. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm being rude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, shit. Yeah, thanks." And you'll find out like later that guy is like hell bent on getting Jin Woo to join. Everybody is now.
We'll be talking about it. We'll talk about it.
And man, dude, like what we talked about is literally the first two episodes.
There's
First
so much
three.
happened. So much happened in those first two episodes, and they were just in the one gate. And like we said earlier, it doesn't slow down. We get a lot more of happens in the next three episodes that are out at this point.
Yeah, man. Sun Jin Woo goes to sleep and wakes up and is like, you know what? It's a good day to go to my personal dungeon. Literally like the next day. After he just went into a dungeon and wrecked like, an A-level dungeon and leveled up and did all the ice boss, the ice stuff. He goes into the next dungeon and is like, "Hey, what floor am I on? Huh? This place seems like it has 100 floors." Then proceeds to go up 75 fucking floors and kill all the bosses. So I think it was every 25 floors had a boss. He goes up all those floors, and the only reason his ass leaves is because he ran out of food.
Yeah, I mean he's in there trying to get the elixir of life for his mom, right? So
Yep.
like, if for people who don't remember it, back in season one, he went in there immediately. That's where he fought the Cerberus and almost died.
Yeah.
A majority of season one was him almost dying. A lot of this season is not that. This is not that at all so far.
Yeah.
So
This season is him being overpowered as shit.
he goes back. He said he's like triple the level he was. So he was level 20. So he's around level 60 at the time he gets in there, right? And
Yeah.
as Prophet said, he proceeds to go through and fuck up every single demon that's in there because he had a special mission where he had to kill 10,000 demons. And he was shocked at it. At first, he was like, 10,000? God bless, did he do it though?
Oh yeah. At first he was like, "What is there even 10,000 in here?" And they start killing him, and then they start coming in droves. He's like, "Oh, all right, this shit's easy." He was just sitting down chilling as his shadow army destroyed everything.
And
Top of
he'll
the red.
fight a little bit when he has to, like a little bit here and there. But really, he's just controlling the shadow army and just letting them do business because they are super strong right now.
Yeah, and he was just popping a mana potion every now and then. That was it. But that one big ass goblin ogre thing that he fought towards, I think that was like on floor 75 before he quit. That thing, holy shit, man. That was a different level.
It, that big thing was speed blitzing them. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like, because at first he was like, "Oh, this thing's gonna be slow, right?" Fucking disappeared immediately. He's like, "Oh shit." He's fucking fast.
I mean, none of that mattered though because he still didn't take damage. I think it was level 50 because I think the last one that he fought to get like the last little piece or the two of the three pieces that he needed was like level 75. Because that's when he was
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, I'm out of food," and that's when he dipped.
I think the last one he fought was like a lich, and he fucking wrecked that guy. Yeah,
It didn't even get a chance to fight back. It just died.
yeah, he just killed it. It was just because the the goblin dude, the giant goblin, fast goblin guy, gave him more of a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lich guy, he was like, "Man, I ain't even gonna deal with this." He just fucks him up. It just kills him.
So,
Man,
so he leaves there. He's saying that, oh, you know, I'll be even stronger when I leave out of here. We don't know how many levels he gained while he was in there. We have no idea. He fought through 75 levels and like multiple bosses and over 100,000 because by the time he had 100,000, he was still fighting. So we don't know what he did in there. We don't know what level he is. We don't know how strong he is at this point. But he was leveling while I was in there.
Yeah, and you could see it. You couldn't see the level, but you could see he was gaining experience because, like, there was one part where he was sitting down and he was like, "Oh, I'm gaining experience for this," because like the experience thing popped up after like one of the shadow minions killed somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one of the cool parts where he was like, "Man, I do not feel like fucking walking." So he summons the bear and rides the bear as a mount, and that bear obliterates everything in front of him.
And even he's impressed. He's like, ooh,
It's like, damn.
all right.
Dude, I love that bear. The bear is so fucking dope.
It's so dope. It's so cool.
And yeah, man. And then like, he gets out, he does the reassessment test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this time, because you remember before when he first got his so-called reawakening, he still tested as an E rank. Now he goes up to the thing, they're like, hey, put your hands on the thing. The thing breaks.
It can't be found. Oh, and the guy walks in and is like, oh, yeah, no, this is working as intended because this is an S rank. And then she's freaking out, and he's just sitting there like, well, yeah, of course I'm an S rank. Why wouldn't I be an S rank at this point? I'm like level 80. I mean, y'all know what levels are, but I'm like level 80.
Yeah. He's like, I'm godlike. And then of course he walks out and everybody trying. So the one hunter, that one guy, the beast guy from the head of that other organization, actually three heads of organizations come after him after that. The head of the one beast one, he was told by the guy, he's like, yo, Sung Jin Woo's here and he tested as an S rank. That dude fucking got out of his office and ran all the way there.
He got to the building exhausted.
And the other guy, the one fire mage guy, from the Guild Hunt, I think he's the Guild Hunters Association.
I think so.
So the head of that association, he was like, "Oh no, I don't think he's the head. I think he's like a chairman or something like that." Because there's two people from the Guild Hunters Association to come out. It was him and then the old guy. That's like a national level hunter.
Oh yeah, Commander. I remember his name. Chairman Choi.
Yeah,
I remember
Choi.
specifically because he's like, because someone Jim was looking at him. He was like, man, he's like on par with me right now. And I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker must be strong. And then the old man's like, shit, man, if I was 10 or 20 years younger, we'd be working together. I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to see that. You're this strong at 80 something. I don't want to see you at your fucking. He's at 20 years. That wasn't even his peak.
Yeah, no, like that guy. Like, I think he was one of the other guys claimed as an because they didn't have the ratings back when he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have been a national level hunter too.
Yeah.
But
I think they called him like the first S rank. Yeah, that's all they did. He's definitely more than that for sure.
Yeah, he's way more powerful than that.
Like again, Sun Jinwoo's after everything we've seen, after everything that we said, Sun Jinwoo's like, man, this guy's like on par with me right now. After all the leveling I did, he's here, and I'm sitting there like, bro, he's this fucking strong.
This dude is strong as shit. So we had that, but the guy before the one fire mage, he just blew that guy off. He walked right past him. Like when he was walking out of the building, that guy's like, "Damn, does he not know who I am?" It's like, nah. The Drip King don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you don't care.
He don't care about you.
You got to be as strong as him or stronger to make him sit down.
Yeah, or you have to have something to offer him something he can't refuse.
Yep.
Right? And he didn't have shit, but Jin Woo, he was like, "Man, you a bitch," and he just kept walking. Dude was mad. He was like, "Oh, okay. Well, we playing it like this, huh? Okay, you gonna get in this organization."
See, that's the wild part because we get to see him a little bit more later, right? And he's no slouch. Like we know
Oh,
he's not a slouch.
he's no slouch. That guy is fucking strong as shit.
This is
One of the stronger mages they show in the
this
series.
is why I'm curious to see like exactly. I want to see exactly where Jinwoo is, right? Like we see him fucking up A ranks, right? We see we see him going into A rank dungeons and fucking those up. We see him doing what he's doing. I want to see where he compares to other S ranks. Because I'm gonna be honest,
Uh,
Jinwoo might not have seen it, but I don't think he's that far off from these other S ranks right now.
actually,
I don't know what the difference is. There might be a little bit of difference, but I don't think he's that far away.
he okay. So if they end the arc where it's going to end, um, oh shit, it depends on where they end it. If they end it where he fights Huang Nansu, the one guy that's trying to get revenge for him killing his brother,
Yeah,
um, he fights in that fight. He fights two people. Okay,
two S ranks, I'm guessing.
he fights Huang Nansu and kills him, and then he fights kills him and then makes him one of his shadow guys.
Oh shit.
And then he fights the national level American hunter, Thomas Andre.
Hmm.
And Thomas Andre is like, he is no fucking slouch, dude. Like, the difference between him and the S rank is like, it's literally like, poof. Like, it would probably take like 5 or 6 S ranks to even like make him flinch. It's like that type of level of shit right
God
there.
bless.
That's what a national level is.
God.
Sung Jin Woo beats the shit out of him, and he gives up. He's like, "All right, dude, I give up." If we get to that, oh my god, I can't wait to see that anime. I can't wait.
Man.
But yeah, he makes the Huang Nansu one of his things, and he punishes him every time. He'll summon him just to make him do shit. He'll be like, "Hey, do 1,000 push-ups." He'll fucking do just random shit just to punish him
That's
on
fuck.
purpose.
He's fucking with his spirit. That's fucked up.
But that his spirit, since it was an S rank guy, is ungodly strong.
Oof. But you said you didn't watch the latest episode, right?
No, no. So the latest episode was with the orc, right?
Yeah. Okay, you did. Oh no, it was Shangri-La that you. Okay, okay.
The
I got
Shangri-La was
confused.
the one I didn't. I didn't watch today's episode of Shangri-La. That was the only one that
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't watch.
Then we got to talk about. We can talk about the last episode before we, because I want to talk about Sun Jin Woo's dad last. I think.
So let's see. I think we're like right there,
Yeah, we're
right?
right there. Like we're about to, in the same episode that where he got reassessed is the same episode that Don Won Soo went to go talk to the guy who came out of the gate. But I want to talk about that last.
Okay. So wait, what was before that?
Oh no, so in this episode, the one we're about to talk about is when Sun Jin Woo was being a he was being a miner, right? Trying to like get some materials. That was this episode.
Yeah. So we go to the current episode, the last episode that we did. Um, and Sung Jin Woo, he's like, man, I need to. He's like, I can't go in solo S rank dungeon. Everybody's eyes are on me now. He's like, all right, I'll sign up for a thing because they haven't updated his rank. So he's still showing his E rank, and it just has his old picture when he was like a wuss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he decides to go and do mining mission. He doesn't have to fight, doesn't have to do anything like that. All he has to do is just mine the crystals. And my boy's a beast at that too. Like, man, why you gotta be a beast at everything, Jinwoo?
Everything.
They're like, you mine the shit so fast that you know, no one no one could keep up with you, and you almost had like infinite stamina. So you mined the stuff so fast that they came back and did the dungeon and finished it in like record time. The guy was trying to hire him on the spot. He was like, hey, I'll pay you extra. Come on. And then, Jim Woo was like, yeah, I made enough to, get the money that I needed. And he found out that there's two dungeons, an A rank and a C rank going on. They were clearing out the C rank and they were eating lunch and stuff when there was somebody from the A rank. He was like, hey, one of our carriers dropped out, right? And we need someone to, um, you know, carry our equipment and stuff like that. And this was an A rank dungeon. So, nobody at first was like doing anything. Jim was like, yeah, I'll do it. It's it's lucky for those guys he did.
Oh yeah.
So they go in that dungeon and then they start like first thing that comes at them is a bunch of wild dogs, like dungeon dogs. They're like, hey, what the fuck? These things ain't supposed to be here. Jin Woo sees, he's like, yo, they got collars. They were sent after us. And they're like, oh, okay. And then after that, the orcs appeared. And the orcs were giving them the business, man. And and there was a point where Jim was like, yeah, these guys might be fucked. So he went stealth and he started fucking up all the orcs by himself to make it just enough to where it would weaken them and then they can get the upper hand. All the A ranks can get the upper hand without, so he thought, without being detected. They get the upper hand and then they're like, oof, okay. They're trying to get out of the gate. The boss blocks their exit, completely blocks it, and 1,000 more orcs show up, and they're like, "Well, we're kind of screwed. We're gonna fight to the end. Hey, this is my will. Give it to my family. Tell them I love them." Type deal. Um, and the orc gave him a choice. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna chop you motherfuckers down now, or you could come meet me." So they decided to go meet him, and they told Jin Woo to leave, but he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna stick around." And probably later on, they'll probably be glad he stuck around.
Oh yeah.
And the orc, this is where the goddamn episode cuts off, and is where I get pissed. The orc king is like, "Oh, hey, humans. Well, we're gonna kill you," but he says something else, and then the episode ends. I'm like, you gotta be goddamn kidding me.
The nastiest cliffhanger. The nastiest of cliffhangers.
It was, we had all this set up, and it happened. It was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And then the end theme plays. I'm like, oh god damn it, I gotta wait a week.
This is why
Oh,
I'm upset that I caught up, because I caught up the day they were recording. I caught up on Solo Leveling, and I'm mad. I could have just waited another week. I could have just waited one more week. I would have been good.
I think I think next week will probably be even a nastier one. And I'm gonna watch it and be upset again.
No, with how they're pushing this, with because right now we've had 5 episodes, right? It feels like we've gone through like 3 mini arcs already.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second gate that we're in. We got the reassessment. We didn't even talk about Jinwoo's dad, which we're gonna talk about in a minute.
Yep.
We got so much has happened in these 5 episodes that we've had.
Yeah. And oh yeah. And the other thing that happened too. One of the times he was, while he was mining that first gate that they went to, his ass was gonna go and solo the boss, and Cha caught up to him. Cha Hei, she caught up to him.
S rank, by the way, another S rank.
Another S rank, and she was like, "Hey, you're the only S rank that doesn't. You're the only person that doesn't stink." Because to her, like, I think there's like all S ranks. for whatever reason, all S ranks stink to her. So anybody with the power, with the abilities, they just all stink,
No,
except for Jim Blue.
it's hunters in general. She just doesn't like the smell of like hunters for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think it's a consequence of her abilities.
I think so. Like it seems like every S rank has like this, like I'm gonna call it like a defect right now. I think they even use the word defects, but like
Yeah.
there's something that's like off with them.
Uh-huh.
And hers is
Yeah.
just she thinks hunters stink
Yep. Except for Jim Blue.
because he's not human. Not anymore.
Not anymore. No. Well, that's his future wife right there. So, you know,
Nah, bro. That old girl from episode 1.
she's still hiding in the. She's still hiding. She ain't gonna do no hunter shit no more.
Is she at home? She at home. She is traumatized. She saw Jimmy was alive in that first season. It was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm good. I have my closure. I'm good. I'm going home. They can't even get her. They can't even get her out the house to go to a gate. She's like one of the few healers that's at like B rank. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Jim Woo ain't messing with no B rank. S rank and higher. Let's go. He's got standards now.
Nah, man. Look, did you see him in this episode? He was so happy to see like people being nice. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't seen that in so long. Like with the miners and stuff like that. Like he was he got flashbacks of that of the double dungeon. He seemed so happy. That was his first like genuine smile I think I've seen from him in a while. He still he has that P rank in him somewhere. He'll be okay with it somewhere. I'm telling you.
Nah, man. Because now Cha is obsessed with him.
Well, at this point, everyone who meets him lately, especially when he got the S rank assessment, has been obsessed with him. Everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Oh, it's gonna get, bro. Like, I read because I was curious about how he fucked up Wang Dansu, and man, it goes to a whole different level after he does that fight. Like he fights him and that national level guy.
Hmm.
Like because cameras are everywhere, so everybody knows at this point.
Also, he's found out now. Like he can't hide it. Like they're doing the S rank assessments, right? Eventually,
Yeah.
the S rank thing is gonna get let out. Like at some point, it has to, because that's what the chairman said. Like they do a delay on letting this news out, so they can go get to him first to see if they can give him a job first before anything. So
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So that's gonna happen, and then he's gonna go fight them, and it's just the secret's gonna be out. He won't be able to hide it too much anymore.
yeah, he ain't gonna be able to hide it. And I think there's something that happens. Oh man, I think there's a couple. I think before he fights Huang Nansu, there's a couple more dungeons that happen before that, and he goes with the S rank guys. Like he actually goes with Chahe and all that the Guild Hunters Association to some place.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing after what happens now. I mean, you know more. You know more than I do because you read ahead. But I'm guessing after they get out of this situation that they're in right now in this current episode, that's when he's going to be announced as S rank, like the next day, right? And then he'll be able to actively go in S rank with no problem now. So he'll get all his stuff updated. He'll do all that kind of stuff to get all the things. We'll get to see everyone who's seen him before. They'll be shocked that he's S rank now, and he'll be able to do S rank dungeons with no problem. Like he won't have to sneak anymore.
Yeah, but man, fuck, man, that show is so damn good. Just
We spent almost 40 minutes talking about it. We didn't even talk about Sun Jimu's dad yet.
and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of that, what was it? The previous episode. So if we're talking about this last,
Mm-hmm.
or towards the end, Hong Dan Su goes down since he's the only American ambassador that can speak Korean because he's Korean. He starts talking to Sun Jin Woo's dad. Man, he fucks up. He fucks up majorly.
Oh yeah.
So he goes and he's like, "Yo, who's your son?" The guy says, "Oh, my son is Jin Sung or Sung Jin." He's like, Oh, Sung Jin Woo's your son. Well, he's dead, bro. His dad's eyes started glowing immediately. He's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be dead. I'm gonna take you out, and you're gonna meet him in death." He's like, "All right, man. If you touch my family, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you." There's something that they did in the manga that they didn't do in this. Jinwoo's dad actually tells the people, "Hey, you should probably get the fuck out of here."
I
He
think
tells everybody to leave.
I think they cut it in the anime because there was
Yeah.
no one else in the room at that point, so they just kind of whatever. Which I if they give us like a glimpse of the fight in the manhwa, I wanna read that.
Well, it ends the same way, but before that, it's literally him going, "Hey, get everybody out of here now," and they start evacuating the prison.
Oof.
And then we see what happens. He destroys Hwang Dansu like bad, like he completely annihilates the guy, and then he escapes the prison. And is now trying to find his way back to Korea.
Like we see Hong Dong Soo, we see him in a hospital just laid up. He has like casts on both his legs. He has a neck brace on, like a heavy duty neck brace. The side of his face is scarred up, and this is the most calm I think we've ever seen him in the series. Because before he was adamant about being the best. He was loud and stuff like that. You see him in the hospital, he's just laying there. He's like, I know y'all want to laugh. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you looking at me right now? And this idiot is still trying to plot his revenge. After what happened, he's like, I'm gonna get them. I'm still gonna get them. Dumbass.
Yeah, yeah, like, and oh man, what I already know, he gets. No, no, it ain't gonna happen like you think it is, buddy. It's gonna be even worse when Jinwoo gets to you because he does some foul shit, and Jinwoo ain't having it, dude. Like, because so kind of like how it starts is he goes after the that one kid that Jinwoo is teamed up with.
Mm-hmm.
That shows up to the dungeons with all that fucking expensive armor.
Yeah, the B rank guy, the B rank rich guy, who was in another episode saying that he wanted to take control of. I think it was his dad's guild. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he kidnaps that guy and starts torturing him to get Jinwoo there. Jinwoo. So, yeah. So this is probably like 2 or 3 arcs after. Jinwoo gets the ability to put his shadows on people.
Ooh.
So he knows everything that happens. And the thing that he can do, he can instantly teleport to that shadow. The shadow reports. He's like, yo, so and so is getting beat up, or he's getting tortured by Huang Nansu or something like that. Boom, switches places with him. He gets teleported right there. And then that's when that fight starts. He's like, yo, you torturing my friend? He's like, nah, man, all bets are off. I'm fucking your ass up. And
Well.
he does.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Oh, and before he does it, he's like, yo, does any one of you are any of you a healer? Because like he messed up the other guy so bad. And like he's like close to dying. And one of the guys was like, yeah, I'm a healer, but I ain't gonna heal him. Instantly kills him. he goes he goes to the next guy. He's like, yo, are you a healer? He's like, no, I don't even know how to heal. What are you doing? He kills him instantly. And then he goes into Huang Dong Su. But his shadows take the guy to a hospital. So yeah, like once that happens, that shit's gonna get wild, man.
I mean, it's possible we get it. We get it this season somewhere. Maybe, I don't know.
No, how many episodes is this season? Is it 12?
It's most likely 12, but it seems like they're rushing through this because there's no way these 5 episodes are like, and from what I've heard from people talking, like they've been cutting like a lot of stuff from these episodes apparently.
Yeah.
So it's possible that we get there. It's the same thing they did with Tower of God. Tower of God, they were cutting so much stuff between that first half of the second season that if you go read the manhwa for it, it's like it feels different.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much different this is compared to the manhwa, but it feels like it sounds like they're cutting out a lot of stuff. So we might get there. Who knows?
I don't know because there's the thing about Solo Leveling. A lot of their arcs have some big ass fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one with this, what is it, the Ant Queen, and it's a major point. So we might get to the Ant Queen, but it do that where he's fighting with all the S ranks, where him and all the S ranks go to that. It's that island that they keep trying to say they want to go to, that they got defeated at
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the series. Yeah, so they go to that island and fight the Ant Queen, and that's like a major part of the story. I don't think they're skipping through that.
I don't know, man.
So,
Oh man, I used to say the same thing, but then Promise Neverland happened.
ugh, no, we ain't talking about that. That was, they only had one season.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there was a second season, but whatever.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a second season. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, just read the manga.
Yeah, just read that. Um, but yeah, man, Solo Leveling, fantastic, fan fucking tastic.
We have spent 46 minutes talking about Solo Leveling.
That's that fucking good, man.
It's that good.
It's that good.
I think we talk about one more anime depending on what we want to do, and then save the rest of it for next. So we don't have a 2.5 hour anime podcast this week.
Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah.
So I picked this one. What do you want to talk about next? What's the next one you want to talk about?
Let's see, what's one we both watch? Oh, we gotta watch the goat Shangri-La Frontier, man.
Man,
Fuck, man.
God,
Oh,
we
by
have.
the way,
Uh huh.
it already got greenlit for season 3, so we in there, baby.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, here's the thing about Shangri-La Frontier. We haven't talked about season 2 at all.
Oh. Oh, Weathermoon season, right?
We,
Yeah.
the last thing we talked about was the end of season 1 with the with Weathermon and Weathermoon and things like that. We didn't touch on season 2 at all. That's all.
No. Season 2 is Weathermoon.
No. The end of season 1 is that fight between the three of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hold on.
Yeah, season 2 starts after the fact. Well, a lot happens because it's also like 2 core, right? So we had like the first half of season 2, and we're in the second half of season 2 right now.
Okay. So, oh man. So we have the crystal, all the crystal beetles. Well, the crystal, what is it? Scorpions. They're the crystal scorpions.
Yeah.
So we left off on season 1 where he defeats Weathermoon, but he also figures out the crystal scorpion thing. He goes back in season 2 and he farms a fuck ton of those things. and he actually makes the boss appear. Which that was a cool ass fight. Like how he actually got through it.
He outsmarted because he couldn't actually like really do a lot of damage to it himself.
Yeah. So he gets all of those materials, and here's one thing, he levels up to 99. So he's max level, and he also has an option to go beyond the max level, but he kind of just leaves it. He's like, I'll just do it later. In true fucking Sunraku style.
Mm-hmm.
He could be even more OP, but he's like, whatever, I'll just do it later. So what's her name? The other rabbit, Belak. She comes back and she makes him two new weapons, fist weapons. And holy shit, they're strong.
They helped out with the fight that's gonna be happening that we're probably gonna be talking about.
Yeah, man. Like he the so they can launch. One of them can launch like kind of like a missile and like blow stuff up, in a punch. Like he can do like a really powerful punch. And the other one can fucking vibrate the ground and shake stuff and like use vibration waves and stuff like that, which he uses in the fight later on, which is, you know, still it's ridiculous. Um, he so there gets to a point where I forget what pissed him off. He gets pissed off and then he logs out and goes to a different game, to like a robot game he used to play. I forgot what made him mad in the first place.
It was he did all that work to make Belak an ancient craftsman, right? She is now an ancient craftsman, so he can get the key, so he can use one of the robots that's in the materia area that they go in, right?
Right.
So he goes down there. He's like, I've done all this work. I got all these scorpions. I've done all this stuff. I've done everything I need to do to unlock this key. I've unlocked it. Now I want to go and I want to put on this armor. So he goes down to the armor because it's like ancient armor that no one's really seen, and he sees that he can't equip it. And he's like, "Fuck this game! I'm so upset." Then that's what makes him go to the other one.
That's right. Yeah. Because he can't wear the armor because of the curse.
Yep.
So so here's a cool thing that happens. Yeah, I think it's midway through the season too. He goes to the other game, but they changed the whole intro of the show to match the game he's playing,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought that was a neat touch to it. Like, hey, he's playing this robot game now. Okay, we're gonna change it to the all robot theme. Man, that robot game is dope as hell, man. What the hell? I want to play that game.
One day we're gonna have the technology to where we can get these we don't have to like move and do VR. We can just put it on our heads and lay down. We're gonna get these games one day, eventually.
Yeah, yeah, full dive games, but man, like him and so he comes back into the game immediately. He gets challenged by somebody that was like, "Yo, you beat me before. I've been holding this grudge this whole time. I'm gonna kick your ass." And then, of course, Sunraku being the goat, he had to put that work in on
Mm-hmm.
him. So Sunraku wins, and the number one person in the game challenges him. Um, and the first time they go against each other, Sunraku loses. The second time they fight, Sunraku modeled his stuff off of a crab, a certain type of crab. And he gave him stuff like, stealth. He gave him some floaty stuff. He did all kinds of crazy stuff to mitigate whatever she was going to do. In the second fight, he wins. And, everybody in the game are going crazy because, like, oh my God, the number one player finally got defeated. Him and that player start talking. And apparently she plays Shangri-La Frontier too, but she stopped playing because there was no robots in it. Because that person loves giant robots.
Understandable.
Yeah, because they're awesome.
Hell yeah.
And Sunraku was like, "Hey, that's not true. There's robots in the game." She was like, "What?" And she was like, "Well, we did the secret scenario." He's like, "Wait, what?" So this transfers to the other part of the season where Sunraku, he's like, "Hey, I'll meet you in Shangri-La Frontier whenever you get in." And she's like, "Hey, you have to get to this certain area, to a certain city. You have to pass through all this stuff, kill this boss, get to a certain city so we can meet up." So the second half of the show is Sunraku going through to meet up with that person, and man, it is not a point A to point B thing. Shit happens everywhere.
One major thing happens in this
Yeah,
situation.
the situation. We're gonna go right, right into it. So, like, one of the things is Cyger Zero joins, and she joins Sun Raku,
And she's
and
she's geeked out. She's so happy. She gets to play. She gets to play with him finally after all this time.
after all this time, Sun Raku's still oblivious and doesn't know who it is.
No clue.
He has no fucking idea.
She tells him her name. It's like, oh yeah, you can just call me this. You don't have to call me Psycho Zero. Call me Ray. And he was like, oh, okay, Ray. And then she's freaking out again. Just it's just it's so hilarious seeing this giant in all this armor who is known as being the attack master, being one of the strongest people in the game, geeked out the way she does whenever she's talking to him. It's just hilarious.
Yeah. And we're not just talking about like, just like, oh, she's just a strong person in the game. No. In the game, she's like literally one of the strongest players in the game to the point where the developers of the game are like acknowledge who the hell it is. They're like, oh, that's the attack master.
She's known throughout the entire game. Like
Yeah.
if you play the game, like if you're playing like an MMO and if you're really into the culture and you hear the name of somebody, you might get an idea on who they are. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that level of thing. Like everybody knows who this specific person is, right? And oh, she shows why.
Oh yeah.
Like in the fight coming up, she shows why because she's a fucking monster, dude. um, so he gets her to come with him, and because he doesn't know the way, well, he needs help to getting through. One and two, to kill that boss. He's like, it'd be fun with two people, and we're gonna speed run it, right? So him and Attack Master are going through. They're going through some ruins in the Zoo Guild. I forgot what the hell they're called. The Pet Guild pops
Oh
up.
SF Zoo.
Yeah, SFF Zoo. So they pop up and they stop Sunraku and Attack Master, and they're like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Something is about to spawn, and we're getting ready to fight it. Don't touch it." Turns out it's the lichen. And at first they SFF they were doing work, man. They pinned it down and all that stuff. But the thing that Saraku did, which is a smart thing, he's like, "Oh no, we ain't gonna join in the fight. We're just gonna watch." And he was watching all the attack patterns of the lichen, and I think it's called the lichen. What is it?
Lycagon, I think that's what her name is, I think.
Lycagon. Yeah, that's right. So he was following all the attack patterns of Lycagon Wolf, and he was like, "Damn, okay, all this is basic, but there was something that killed me, and I don't know what it is." The moon got covered, and then it happened. There's a there was a sound, and then there was another shadow came out. It started killing everybody in SFF Zoo, and they were scrambling around, and they're like, "Ah!" And they all got killed. And then the Lycagon turned to Sunraku and the Attack Master. Now, here's the funny thing. Sunraku was sitting there thinking, well, shit, if we defeat the Lycagon, then somebody else knows about it. So I could just get us killed on purpose. And, only I have all the information. But the gamer and Sunraku ruled out. He's like, no, man, fuck that. I'm going to kill this thing.
That's right, be a gamer.
The gamer side was like, nah, we're gonna take this thing out. Dude, that was a fight. Every episode.
It was
Like,
it was on par with the with the Weatherman fight, Weatherman,
Yeah.
how whatever that thing's name was.
Oh, Weatherman.
Yeah, Weatherman. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on par with the Weatherman fight, and there was a point. So, so Raku was doing his thing. He's just being an invasion tank, which is insane. I wish other games would let you do that, but that's here nor there. I'm not gonna harp on that too much, but um, and there was a point where he had to always switch to aggro from, because the attack master, she had to switch forms back and forth to do this one attack in each form, and she had to do it 5 times each
Mm-hmm.
in order to charge up a new this like literally it's like a nuke the world ability.
Yeah, like she had like a lot of requirements for this ultimate, and apparently like she's the only one who can do this, and apparently this is the reason why she's called the attack master, because she has this ability. I guess no one else does.
Right. So she finally charges up the ability and she's like, "Hey, I have to do this chant thing and I need you but I can't get hit while doing it and it takes forever." So Sunraku, being the goat,
Mm-hmm.
fucking goes in and starts tanking that bitch and starts doing all kinds of crazy stuff. At the same time, we find out something new. So before, when we said he couldn't equip all the armor, that was true, but it didn't mean he couldn't equip the helmet. He found out he only had to equip one piece of that armor, and he could control the robot, which was cool as shit. So he started controlling the robot, and he told the robot, he was like, "Hey, go into the sky and fly circles and make sure the moon always stays up to stop Lycagon from doing that ability where when the moon's not showing, he stops all the shadows." So that's up there doing that. Sunraku is tanking this thing. Um, and Attack Master finally gets the ability, like finally finishes the chant, hits that fucking Lycagon with like everything she's got, and like, dude, the Lycagon got annihilated.
Well, it got hit with like 11 attacks, because those, like we're talking about, those first 10 attacks to get this attack were no slouches either. Because every time
Yeah,
Lycagon would get hit by it, like she would like, I don't know, like flinch, like it just would hurt her every
yeah.
time.
And I think this is like before this point. Oh, that is right. So before this point, one of the things that happened was Emil came. I think her name's Emil, the rabbit,
Mm-hmm.
the little rabbit girl. She appeared with her brother and the ninja. And the ninja is, if you watch season one, is the person that found that new tech in that fighting game that he was playing and he beat. Um, and it was the character it was the girl with the scar on her face.
Mm-hmm. She
Um,
also has a mark from one of the ancient beasts.
yep. But you find out the mark is actually her. It's not because it's from an ancient beast, but she actually made her avatar the way she actually looks. So she actually has that mark on her face. Um, but yeah, she started teleporting Siger Zero because the Lycagon was like, nah, those attacks hurt like a motherfucker. I'm going right at her. And this was before she did the chant thing. But so Raku found out that the thing guarding the Lycagon, why he wasn't taking a whole lot of direct damage, was because there was like a magic thing on him. He had Emil cast something on him, and it did the damage to him, but it took off that shield, and then Attack Master started hitting that area and
Mm-hmm.
fucking him up even more. And that thing was down when she hit him with the final, like, a big attack. And eventually it takes the Lycagon out because everybody's like, "Oh shit, is this thing actually getting up?" And no, it just disappears after that.
Yeah, she's done. It's like it's over,
Yeah, it's over.
or so we
Oh,
think.
so we thought. So everybody gets a little quest pop up thing, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got a new quest." And then the spirit, we find out that wasn't the real Lycagon. One, it was the spirit of the Lycagon, so it was like the prerequisite to fight the real thing. Two, it popped up and it didn't make Sanraku's thing go away. His his mark go away. It actually made it more intense and more work and a little bit better, but a lot worse at the same
A
time.
lot worse.
So the spirit pops out, gets Sanraku, chews on him a bit, and then spits him out. Sanraku's pissed that happens. But now he has the ability, all the areas where he can't wear armor, he can wear armor, but eventually it just breaks. It can't be repaired. So it's kind of more bullshit added on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now the mark is more intense and is telling all the creatures in the game, hey, he defeated the Lycagon spirit. So now he's like a worthy foe. So now instead of creatures running away from him, they're going to be trying to attack him now. The stronger creatures are now, which is a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves us to they finally get to that next area. And this fortune teller guy is like, yo, you can ascend, do this ascension thing, right? Or so he gets the Fool. Out of all the cards he could have got, he got the Fool, which makes his abilities recharge faster. You don't want to give that guy something that makes his abilities charge faster. Of course, Sonraku got it because one, it's the rarest thing you can get, and is based on how fast you level.
Mm-hmm.
That's how rare it is.
What's the attack bunch was saying like they that the Fool's like one of the few that they know the requirements for, and it's basically you get to level 99 super fast. And he was thinking like, oh yeah, that's right, I have like he's been dominating this game, so of course he hit level 99 in like 2 weeks, like a month or whatever.
Yeah. And after he gets that, he's what's attack master looks at him at his level and everything like that, and she's like, "Oh, you have that plus sign too?" She's like, "You can ascend farther. It breaks your once you do it, it makes it to where you can go way past the level cap." He's like, "Oh." So yeah, so Raku's a beast. And the last episode I watched was kind of like it's one of those episodes. It's kind of it's not really a filler episode, but it's like the why are we here episode type deal,
Mm-hmm.
where it's kind of a little recap of things that happened. So the other parts of the crew, Okazado, which is the monk, is the guy that's the pro gamer. You find out his reason for playing Shangri-La Frontier, which is because there's another game based on Shangri-La Frontier's game engine that it'll be using the same game engine, but it's going to be like a fighting game, and he's going to be heavily competitive in that.
Mm-hmm. Pro
And
gamer.
then you find out Pencilgon, her whole like reasoning in the beginning was to do the whole Weatherman thing. So after that, she did that. She was trying to figure out if she still wanted to play the game, and now her main purpose is to fuck with everybody.
Mm-hmm. And
So
it gives you a reason why they split also, because now we got to remember, because really the only person who didn't have like a negative backlash from that fight was Sunraku. Like Sunraku
yeah,
didn't like Oikatsu dropped like 50 levels,
yeah,
and then Pencilgon basically had to make a new character because she didn't want her player killer NPC to be a thing anymore. So she had to do that, and she's also like $300 million in debt or whatever in the game.
Yeah, in the game. So she's not allowed to get any monetary thing. If she does, it's instantly gets taken away. It's
Mm-hmm.
just gone. So that's why she goes down into the guild's bank and starts just getting everything from the guild bank.
She got to steal because she can't own anything because she has so much debt from being a player killer.
Yep. Which it also makes sense why she had Attack Master Killer in the previous season because
Mm-hmm.
anything of monetary value when at the end of that, because I think she went back to like level 1 from using that same thing Okazado used,
I think so.
um would have like deteriorated or perished or whatever. That's why she dropped all of her gear and was like, okay, kill me. But
Mm.
yeah, that's man, that's such a good show, man. I
It's
love Shangri-La Frontier.
it's fantastic. Like it was like a sleeper, right, when it first came out, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think anyone expected it to be as good as it is, and that show is damn good.
yeah. Um, Especially for anybody out there that just it's one of the shows that like people are like, oh, it doesn't have these high stakes, it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. Like the stakes are in the game, right? She's
Yeah,
playing the game and the stuff shit happens, right? Just like it's just like, any of us playing a game, right? Playing Elden Ring or playing whatever. There's stuff that happens, and you get into these tense moments where you're doing a boss fight or something like that, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's all going down now," and stuff like that. That's it's one of the things Shangri-La Frontier does really damn well.
I think
Is
that
show those types of moments.
I think that's why it's so great, right? Because every other anime in this genre, right? You got to be in the game. Like they're stuck in the game, and this is life or death. It doesn't always have to be that way. Like you don't have to make that happen to have a good anime. Just follow along with someone who's ridiculously good at a game, and let him go into a new game that's like a S tier game that everyone plays, and just let him dominate. It's a
Yeah,
good story. It's fun.
yeah, it's a great story. It shows like he wasn't just this guy that came through. He played shitty games on purpose, but because he had to use all these different types of skills to play those types of games, and he learned all those skills, he takes it to an S tier game, and he's godlike because of that.
Yeah, because the game
Because
isn't broken in any way. It's not like gross.
yeah, it's not broken or anything, and he can combine all the stuff that he learned from all the other games into that game. That's what makes this show so like cool and so great. Like, yeah, man, I love it.
But yeah, man, like that's the fun of it. Like that's what makes it great. That's also what makes this podcast great because we talked about two anime and we're over an hour in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2 later.
Oh yeah, because we got a lot more stuff to talk about, right? Like uh eventually we're gonna talk about the Red Ranger show. We gotta talk about Kaneko Man. We gotta talk
Yeah,
about like other stuff that we've been talking about that we've been watching, right? We gotta
yeah,
talk about stuff that we rewatched. We've got to talk about manga stuff.
yeah, like Dragon Ball Daima being one, and I'll just tell you guys right now, just like the 46 or so minutes that we talked about Sung Drippy Woo doing his thing. Well, we will be talking about Dragon Ball Daima probably almost double that
Mm-hmm.
because it's that good. Like Dragon Ball Daima is the most Dragon Ball you'll ever watch.
That's gonna be its own episode for sure.
Yeah, that show's incredible. That's all I'll just say.
Which that means anime fans, you will be getting more OVAs more often because if we do this once every 2 months, we're never gonna catch up to anything. So you have our word that you will be getting these a little bit more consistently.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's it, man. You know what? Just like we did before, we're gonna condense this part 2. Make it easy. Thank you all for watching. Make sure if you watch this far, Give us a like. Let us know what you think about the anime that we talked about, which is just Solo Leveling and Shangri-La Frontier. Let us know what you talk about. Let us know what you think. Let us know what anime you want us to watch. Let's see if we can get something in there going. Get some conversation going. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. Follow us on Blue Sky. Listen to our podcasts on everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. And yeah, that's it. Everyone, thank you all for listening. And we will see you sooner rather than later.
Yep, we're out.